Hey, what's up everyone? So in this particular tutorial, we are going to learn about complete Power BI from scratch. So this particular tutorial is for the most part for beginners, for absolute beginners, people who are just starting out their journey on Power BI. So there's going to be back-to-back dashboards in this tutorial, and there would be music based data sets and TV shows based data sets. Okay, so for the most part the visualization which we are going to do is kind of similar in both of these data sets, but at the end of the day you would be having hands-on experience in Power BI, and you would go somewhere from zero, complete scratch, to somewhere around 3 or 4 or maybe 5, if you use your own vision into visualizing the dashboards, and you would also get to know how to play with the data sets. Okay, so without wasting any more time, so let's start it. Hey, what's up everyone? So this is the dashboard, okay, which we are going to create in this particular tutorial. Okay, and so we will be using this particular data set over here, and so the end result would look something like this. Okay, so without wasting any more time, so let's start it. Okay, so to visualize the Amazon Prime data, first of all, we need to load the data into our Power BI. So let's add the CSV file. So this is the data which we are going to visualize today. Clicking on load. So our Amazon data file is loaded over here. So first of all, let's do the map visualization. Okay, clicking on field map. So we will visualize show ID by country. Okay, so okay, so now click adding the values. Let's build the visual. Okay, let's clicking on upgrade, and let's add show ID to tooltips. Okay, and making it counting distinctly. Okay, perfect. And so yeah, let's also, I think I should rename it show ID by region or country. Perfect. Keeping it in center, making it bold, and changing the font to Arial black. Perfect. And I can also change the effect. Okay, I'll do that later on. Okay, so now let's come to second visualization, which is donut chart. Okay, so let's click on the donut chart visual, and yes, so the purpose is over here with donut chart is to show movies versus TV shows breakdown. Okay, so in the, let's keep it aside. We can go with pie chart also. So we can add show ID, Okay, in the donut chart, I've added type over here, and in the values, we can drag the measure. Okay, uh, count or aggregate. So add show ID. So I think we can add show ID over here, and we also have to count it distinct. Okay, okay, perfect. So let's change the title of it also to Arial black only. Shows count. Perfect. Changing it to Arial black, aligning it. Okay, so two of the visualizations are done, and then now let's come to the third visualization, which is area chart, which I'm gonna visualize it through area chart. Okay, and the purpose for it is to show total shows by release year. Okay, uh clicking on the area chart. Yeah, so I'm gonna click add release year in x-axis, and I'm gonna add show ID in y-axis, and in the legend also we can add, I guess, uh, type, like release year we are visualizing, show ID have to count distinct only, and type in the legend. Okay, perfect. So as you can see over here, our area chart is done. So now similarly I'm going to change the title a bit. Show ID by release year. Changing it to Arial black, my favorite font, aligning it. Perfect. Rest we will do later on. Let's visualize all charts first. And now we will be doing horizontal bar charts two times. Okay, first to show ID count by rating, and then show genres by total number of shows. Okay, categorizing genres by total genres by total number of shows. Okay, so let's do it. Horizontal bar chart. So clicking on stacked bar chart. Okay, and so we're gonna add rating to x axis or y axis, rating to y axis. Okay, and we're gonna add a show ID whose rating we're gonna show. Okay, yeah, and count distinct again. Okay, and we're gonna change the title again this time. Changing font to Arial black, aligning it. Okay, so again, the last visualization is also going to be horizontal bar chart. So clicking on stacked bar chart, and then we will be visualizing genres by total shows. Okay, and then later on I will do the aesthetic part of this dashboard. So in y-axis first we have to add genres listed in, like in what particular category are the particular show is listed. So clicking on listed in, and then also in x-axis we are going to have show id. So yes, this was for the most part all about our 5 dashboards. Let's again change the title, genres by total shows, changing it to my favorite font, Arial black. Okay, and so yes, these were the 5 visualizing elements of this dashboard. So let's now add KPIs also. I think it would enhance our dashboard more, but let's first create space for that. Clicking on card, so I'm gonna have total titles first. So there's around 9655 titles, right? Let's add the title, total titles. Arial black again, it's already been there. Yeah, aligning it already done. Yeah, perfect. So I'll change the color later on, but I think the Amazon Prime Video logo is around like bluish kind of, so let's do that already. But I'll do that later on. Let's undo that. I'll change the aesthetic elements later on. Okay, when we are going to finalize the dashboard. So let's copy it. One more time. So I'm gonna add 5 KPIs. I'll adjust the size of it later on. This is perfect for the most part, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, and now I think I should align the dash visual elements. So this space for logo photo, which I'm going to add. So let's put release here over here. Show ID over here, shows count over here, shows count over here. Show ID in between. and show id by release next to show id by country. I'll change the dimensions of it just a little. And so yeah, so now add the background, I guess. So let's just restructure our fourth visualization bar chart. So to show ratings and all, so also changing the title over here again, show id count by rating. Changing it to Arial black, aligning it perfect. So yeah, I think we should put it over here. Okay, and just minimize it a bit, put it over here. Yeah, so all three below should align. Okay, so there's space for logo now. Okay, so now let's add a background image, I guess. So I've already selected a suitable background, decreasing the transparency, fill it. Okay, so now I'm gonna change the color combination, okay, which will make everything more aesthetic now. Okay, so clicking on effect, background color, let's be black, and title, make it white. Perfect. Okay, also having visual border, which should be white in color, I guess. uh, Keep it 20. Also switching on shadow. How does it look? Also changing the y-axis to white, values to white. Okay, perfect, I guess. So let's do similar stuff for rest of the visualizations also. uh, let's do it with this one also. Going to effects, background color to black, visual border on, shadow on, 20. Okay, So let's see how does it look. Okay. Okay, and clicking on values, white, y-axis, values, white. Perfect. Let's switch off the title. Switch on the title. Okay, and make it white. Make it white. The title color should also be white. Perfect. Okay, now clicking on effects. Okay, background color is there. Title color has to be changed to white. Perfect. Is there anything else we can do? I think border should be, outline should be white, just like genres by total shows. So yeah, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna do similarly with uh, this one also. Clicking on general, clicking on effects, background black, visual border on, shadow on, text color white. Perfect, I guess, for the most part. Yes. Okay, so similarly with shows count, format the visual, effects, background black, visual border on, shadow on, white, rounded corners, shadow white. All perfect, I guess, for the most part. Yes. Okay, shadow count, the title has to be in white too. Okay, so done. Okay, and now the last visualization. Clicking on effects, background color black, visual border on, white, 20 px, shadow white, and the title has to be in white as well. Perfect. And the axis color should also be in white. Perfect. Okay, so now I think only KPI aesthetic is pending, so let's do that similarly as we did the other visualization changes. So clicking on title, title should be blue, and but the number has to be in white. That looks much better, I guess. And the title is it Arial black? It is Arial black. Perfect. Is it bold? No. So I just did that, aligned it. Perfect. Okay, So similarly, I'm gonna do it with the rest of the KPIs. So but let's change the values first. Okay, I forgot to do that. So in this KPI, the earlier one had total number of titles. This one should have total number of ratings, I guess. Distinct ratings, which would be around 25. Perfect. So let's design it. It should be white. It won't be visible currently, but it will later on. Effects, background black, title bluish. Perfect. Keep it 15. Yes. So now in this KPI, I should have genres, total number of genres. First change that. Which would be counting distinctly. Just a second. No. So I should have category over here, which is listed in which particular category? Drama, comedy. Count distinct 519. Perfect. So now changing the visual elements of this as well, converting it into white, title to blue, 15, going to effects, background color black. And I think I forgot to change the border area, and in the earlier KPIs I'll do that just now to align with the other cards. Keeping it white, visual border white, 20 px. Okay, I think it looks okay. Uh-huh. Perfect, I guess. Okay, so let's change the border of these KPI cards also. Switching on the shadow also. So now clicking on visual. Is it aligning? No, it's not. So let's change it again, just a second. So let's delete it first. Let's copy it. Okay, so total rating KPI is also done. Total titles, sorry. Titles, total ratings, total genres. Perfect. Let's do this similar with the other two KPIs. First of all, let me delete that because we have already cracked the design we want. So just copy paste. And in this one, I'm gonna have total number of directors, okay, whose movies are listed in our database. So director, yeah, count. It would be more than 5,000, I guess. Yes. So 5,771. Change the title, total directors or film makers. Let's decrease the font size. And lastly, I think we're gonna have total number of countries. Perfect. So I think for the most part, we are done with our dashboard, and there's just logo placement which we have to do. So I've already got a logo which I thought gonna look cool in my dashboard. Perfect. Let me just stretch it a bit. So finally, I guess we have the desired dashboard. Okay, visualizing Amazon Prime data. Okay, we can see show ID by country, rating, genres by total number of shows, and we got a map over here. We also got 5 KPIs I've visualized for you guys. Okay, so this is a beginner dashboard, good enough if you're just starting out in your Power BI journey. You should do such kind of dashboard. Okay, and the data set for this particular dashboard is available on Kaggle. I'll paste it. I'll give you guys the link in the description. So stay tuned for next tutorial. Thank you. So, okay, everyone, thank you so much for watching La Data YouTube channel. So, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe La Data's YouTube channel for further more amazing tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. So, the first thing first, we have to load the data first. Okay, so let's do that. So, the weekend, yeah. Okay, so the CSV file is being uploaded. Okay, so this is the data which we have to visualize, which we are going to visualize, and the weekends dashboard, which we're gonna build, gonna capture a strong presence of weekend musician in streaming and visual media. Okay, and there would be revenue by media type breakdown, albums, singles, and of course merchandise and concerts. So showing his diverse revenue sources, and also we're gonna show growth over time captures spiking from landmark albums released and popular single drops, like which particular song resulted in revenue increase. Okay, and there would also be analysis of top collaborations which he did. Okay, which gonna provide insights on how key features amplify, okay, revenue for a musician. Okay, so this is a very beginner friendly dashboard which you can do. Okay, and we will also be adding KPI cards, okay, which gonna emphasize brand licensing income, and visual platform engagement. Okay, which are crucial, very crucial for highlighting the weekend's multimedia approach to music business. Okay, and you can implement similar strategy in for any other artist. So I'm doing it for weekend. You can do that for any other artist. Okay, so let's load the data first. Okay, so the data is loaded, as you can see on the right side, extreme right side data column. Okay, so now first thing first, I think we should start with KPI cards. Okay, let's visualize KPIs, top KPIs. Okay, and okay, perfect. So let's, I think we should visualize revenue. Let's start with that. Okay, so total revenue will be visualized through this KPI. Okay, which is around $2.6 billion. Okay, let's change the title of it, switching it on. Revenue. So I'm not gonna make much changes in aesthetic currently, because there's going to be a lot of changes later on. So we have to align the design and overall look of these KPIs with the rest of the dashboard elements also. But I'm gonna add the basic ones only uh, as of now. So yeah, let's add some rounded corner and shadow. Okay, so we'll do the changes later on. Okay, uh yeah, so let's have another KPI, and also have another KPI. I guess I'm gonna have four KPIs in this dashboard. One, two, three, four. Perfect. Okay, so over here we can add total streams. We should do streams or what? Hmm. Okay, customer type, platform. Let's do titles. Let's count distinct number of titles, or not titles. So let's add regions currently. Okay, uh, okay, and over here, so number of platforms which we are considering, okay, for this dashboard is around 9. So platforms. So in the last card we got content type, types of content we are taking into accounts. So first one is album, last one is must be sync. Yeah. So let's count distinct, like exactly how many different types of content we are taking into account. So that's around 6. Okay, so now let's go ahead with the core visualization, and so that would be first visualization would be revenue by media type, and for that we can choose donut or pie chart. Uh, let's go with donut. And in the legend we can have content type, and in the values we can have revenue, I guess, sum of revenue. Yeah, okay, perfect. So just narrow it down a bit, uh, and let's do the basic aesthetic part of this visualization card. We'll do the rest of the stuff later when we gonna finalize the look. Like this is exactly the look we want, then we will align all the elements in accordance. So okay, and so now let's go to the second visualization, which is going to be, let's visualize top collaboration impact, or let's do let's visualize line chart. Let's do line chart by visualizing streaming growth over time. So I'm doing whatever I'm doing, it's all real time. Okay, so you can choose any visualization you want to do on your part according to your own learning method. So I'll choose line chart. Okay, so we can have month, I guess. Yeah, removing year, removing quarter, removing day, and in y-axis we can have sum, I guess, revenue, right? Or stream count. Let's do stream count. Yes, yes. And in legend we can have content type. We can have content type, I guess. Okay, so albums versus singles versus features. Okay, mm-hmm. Okay, albums versus features, different type of content type. Okay, perfect. And we can also have a horizontal bar chart to show top collaboration. So let's do that. Then later on we'll move on to the aesthetic part of this dashboard. uh, okay, in x-axis we can have revenue, and in y-axis we can have uh, name of the collaborator, or like we can also have content type. We can show content type also. It depends, for the most part what you want to show. So I guess uh, I can show content type, like what particular content draws more revenue. So as you can see, concert tickets drew most revenue for the weekend. So let's do the aesthetic part. Clicking on effect, it's all good. Switching on visual border, switching on shadow. Okay, 20 pixel. Okay. Hmm. Perfect. And for this one also, I forgot to switch on the shadow part. Okay, visual border on, shadow on. Okay, should I add any more visualization? I think scatter plot could be added. Okay, to show film or TV sync revenue versus streaming, I guess. So in x-axis we can add revenue, I guess. Yeah, and in y-axis we can add quantity. Okay. Hmm. I think instead of scatter plot, we can have geographical or platform analysis. Uh, okay. In x-axis, we can have region. In y-axis, we can have revenue, I guess. Hmm. So this one looks okay. So I think let's add a map instead. It looks more aesthetic. Revenue by region. It's gonna showcase us. Okay. Let's improve the aesthetics of this one also a bit. We'll do the major changes later on, depending on the overall look of this dashboard. Switching on shadow. Okay, so I think now I should add elements. Okay, to make this dashboard more appealing. I've already selected a few PNGs and a custom background. Let's see if it aligns with this dashboard or not. So clicking on insert, clicking on image. Okay, so yeah, this looks kind of cool, but I think we need a different background also. Does it work? Let's see. No, I think there's also a background image I've chosen. Let's see if it clicks or not. Hmm, I think it looks kind of cool. We can have that. I just have to realign the other elements. Okay, let's remove this PNG. Yeah. Or I think we can remove revenue by region altogether to make space for other certain elements, png elements. As this is a beginner dashboard, I think we can do that, but it won't be more data analytic rich, more data rich, if we just having like three visual cards, that's it. So we need more data visualization stuff, but this is a beginner dashboard, I think I can do that. Okay, so I think it looks kind of cool. Let's add a few more elements into it. Let's add a Spotify logo. Yeah. Let's add a YouTube logo too. Okay, let's add yeah. Okay, I think this PNG gonna look cool on this music player card. Yeah, perfect. So let's align the visual cards in accordance with the other elements and the background of this dashboard. Okay, let's change the background to a more reddish like color. Let's make it transparent. Hmm, how does it look? Okay, yeah. Okay, from gray to white. Making it bold, making it Arial black, changing the color to white or light blue or purple. You can, do these aesthetic changes accordingly or remove the title altogether. It looks more clean. And in y-axis, in values, we're gonna have white. Okay, and here also I'm gonna remove the title altogether. Okay, and in lines, I can have hmm. Okay, so I think it looks okay. Hmm. And legend is white, title off. Okay, and the title over here from gray to white. As I told you earlier, we're gonna do these changes later on. Arial black, uh, aligning it. Uh, quantity by month and content type. Okay, let's see how does it look. It looks kind of okay, I guess, but I think I need to change the shadow color and border color. Going on effects, visual border, I think red gonna work. Gonna have more rounded corners. Clicking on shadow, red gonna work. Let's see. Hmm, it looks kind of cool, I guess. Yeah, perfect. So I'm gonna make similar changes in other cards and KPIs also. Okay, so going on legend, going on effect first. Background is going to be red with a lot of transparency, I guess. Pinkish it was. Okay. Which exactly color we used? Let's copy it. Okay. And in visual border also it's going to be red with a lot of rounded corners. Shadow, oh god, I mistakenly clicked on reset. Just a second. Visual border on, color red, lot of rounded corners, shadow on. Okay, let's see how does it look. So it looks kind of okay, I guess. And then clicking on visual. Okay, title, let's switch it off. Let's remove detail labels also. Going on general revenue by content type. Keeping it Arial black, keeping it white and bold. And aligning it, bolding it. Going to effect, we already did that part, I guess. So slices, concert ticket, we can change it to red, not gonna look cool. Pink, yeah, perfect. Sync license we can change to, yeah, looks good. Merchandise we can change to, okay. We can change to white color. Okay, it looks kind of okay, I guess. Okay, going to the this chart and changing the title to caps, quantity by month and content type, whether it's album, concert ticket, feature, merchandise, single, or sync license. Now the last card, I'm gonna make similar changes over here. Revenue by content type. Switching font to Arial black, this one to white, gonna vanish, but later on it's gonna be visible after I'm gonna change the background, increasing the transparency. Which color it was, I forgot it again. Okay, visual border on red, shadow red, going to visual, going to x-axis, going to values, gray to white, just like rest of the stuff. Title off, going to y-axis, gray to white, title off, and what else? I think color should align with rest of the board. Does it look cool? Let's see. Hmm. Okay. So similar changes I'm gonna do with the card. Should we have background color? Let's try it. No, I don't think we should have that. Okay. From black to pink. No, it's too much. Light pink. Yeah, it works, I guess. Similarly, I'm gonna do with rest of the cards. Yeah. Changing font to Arial black to white. Background to no. Borders to red. Shadow to red. Regions, I guess I didn't add it. My favorite font, Arial black. Hmm. I'm gonna change the dimension of this one too. Clicking on platforms, going on formatting my visual, this one to light pink, I guess, changing font to Arial black, this one to white. It would vanish later on, it's gonna be visible. Arial black, bold, aligned, going on effects. No. Clicking on visual border, this to red, solid one, shadow to red, perfect, I guess, for the most part. Title is also good, I guess. Platforms. Okay, keeping it at 43. Okay, similarly with the last one, keeping it 40 to 43, somewhere around that. Okay, border, it's going to be red, shadow is also going to be red, and align the text color is going to be white. Yeah, making it bold, changing the font to Arial black, content type, yes, perfect. And visual light pink, I guess, changing it to Arial black, my favorite font, sizing down it a bit. So yeah, I think we are done with our dashboard for the most part, I guess, but there are a few things which you can add also. Let's see. I should add it, or so let's see if it's gonna look cool. Okay, does it look cool? I guess so. No, I think we can do it without it too. Okay. Hmm. So I think it looks good even without that too, without that bar. So yeah, let's stretch it a bit. Okay. Okay, so I think I'm done with this dashboard. So this is your final dashboard. I'll share the dataset in the description below. Okay, so you can make your own changes accordingly, according to your taste, according to your vision, and you can also create dataset as per your music taste, as per your favorite musician. You can do that. So let's. I think I should decrease the font size. Yeah. Similarly here, just a little. Yes, perfect. So similarly, you can do that with your favorite musician. So I did that with Weekend, and you can also check out our Power BI beginner playlist. So this is a beginner project, so you can do such projects according to your own vision. So you can also do that for any other musician also. So this is a very beginner project, and so add your own PNG, add your own style, do things accordingly. Okay, so stay tuned. So first thing first, let's load our data into Power BI. So yeah, so this is the data which we are going to visualize. So let's click on load. So yeah, so the data is loaded, as you can see on right side column. The Beyonce data set is loaded over here. So okay, so let's build our first visualization. So let's click on bar chart. So let's visualize top tracks first. So in x-axis we are going to put total streams, and in y-axis we are going to put track name, which particular track has how many streams. Okay, so now we can see which particular track has how many streams. Okay, so yeah, let's fastly do the second visualization. We do the aesthetic part later on. Okay, we'll change the user interface and design of the whole dashboard later on. Let's first build all the visual cards. Okay, so now let's build second visualization, which is going to be album breakdown, and which we are going to do with column chart. Okay, so and then over here we are going to use album for x-axis, and we are going to use total streams for y-axis. Okay, fantastic. Sum or average, I'll go with sum. Total. Okay, and then now fastly coming to our third visualization, which is going to be popularity by genre. So for this particular thing which we are going to do, we're going to use column chart again. Okay, so we are going to visualize popularity by genre. Okay, so inserting genre into x-axis, and in y-axis we are going to have popularity score. Okay, okay, so sum or average, sum, we can have a cluster chart over here for this one. Okay, just a second, we'll use popularity score over here. Okay, uh, we're gonna have average 68.39%, 67.55, 65.61. Okay, so average over here, and yes, so we have to set it to average. Okay, and then Yeah, that's it. So now let's go to, let's uh, narrow it down a bit to make space, to make room for other visualizations. Okay, I'm gonna have okay, let's keep it like this. Okay, okay, okay. And we're gonna have genre distribution, for which either I'm gonna use pie chart or donut. Let's go with pie chart. uh, we're gonna use in legend, we're gonna have genre. Genre, okay. And in values we're gonna have count, or like we're gonna have track name, like which particular track is of which particular genre. Okay, okay. uh, let's do one thing, realign it over here. Okay, and let's add fifth visualization, which is going to be line chart. Clicking on line chart. Okay, let's make space for it. Okay, yeah, okay. And so here I'm gonna have a release date. I'm gonna visualize streams over the period. Okay, so I'm gonna have a release date at x axis, which particular song released at which particular time, and in y axis I'm gonna have daily streams. Okay, you can use month or year. I'm gonna go by month. Let's remove it. Let's remove the date. Okay, and daily streams, we have to take average of it over here. Okay, perfect. So now let's add some KPI cards. I'm gonna have different KPI cards over here. I'm gonna have let's see, uh, total streams. Let's start with this. So it's around 9 billion. uh, Rename it, remove it, and have another card over here which gonna show total albums. So shifting to count distinct, so total albums are 7. Let's rename it, remove it. Okay, and uh, rename it again. Okay, and okay, I'll do that again. Okay, let's have another KPI card which should be total number of tracks. So counting distinctively, it's going to be 61 tracks. Okay, and let's have genre liveliness. Let's have another uh, KPI card showing popularity score, and I'm gonna take average of it. Perfect. So now we have major elements of our dashboard ready. So now move to the aesthetic part of it. Now I'm gonna insert some images to make it more dynamic and more visually appealing. So yeah, Beyonce, it's there, and another element. So these are the PNGs I've already created beforehand. Okay, So yeah, so it looks kind of okay, cool, I guess. Yes. Okay. And the elements are pink, so I think I'm gonna use uh, light pink color as canvas background. Okay, a bit more lighter version of it. Okay, perfect. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna uh, change the aesthetics of these cards visualization. So track count by genre. Okay, so we'll change the color later on. Let's uh, switching on visual border, switching on shadow, pink. Okay, or darker version of pink. Okay, okay, and shadow. Let's see how does it look. Okay, and I'm also gonna have some kind of background. Okay, increasing transparency. uh, let's see how does it look. So it looks kind of okay, I guess. uh, okay. Okay. Hmm. So it looks kind of okay, I guess. uh, Going to general, going to effects, going to visual border. I'm gonna have light pink color over here, and in shadow also I think I should have light pink. Yes. Okay, going to effects, changing the color, I think. Okay, yeah, so it looks kind of okay, I guess. uh, Light pink, maybe red could work, I don't know, so let's see. mm, no. Okay, going to general, going to effects, switching it on to pink. Okay, moving to shadow. Okay, uh, let's keep let's change the title color, changing it to Arial black, changing it to white, keeping it in center. Text wrap, going to visual, going to legend, title off, detail labels off, and what else? Text is going to be white. That's not there. Okay, let's keep it aligned with the other color. Let's go to slices, and let's go to color. Okay, so I want to have colors according to the other uh, elements of this dashboard. So going to R&B, going to this a bit lighter color of pink. Okay, and hip hop I'm going to have this one, so it aligns with rest of the dashboard. Okay, perfect. Similarly, I'm gonna do this here. Going to x-axis, switching off title, going to values, making it white. Okay, increasing transparency a bit more. How much was there? 57%. Okay, so I'm gonna have 57% over here also. Okay, whatever. Okay, so now uh, switching on visual border, switching on shadow, pink, rounded corners, making it white. Okay, going to visual, going to general first, going to title, total streams by track, keeping it white, changing it to Arial black, and then going to x-axis, clicking on values. Okay, going to y-axis, making it white, Arial black, and switching off title. Okay, so here also I'm gonna change the color. So let's, instead of white, have I don't know, lighter version of it. It's pretty more light. Then this one's okay, I guess. This one's okay. Okay, so let's go to bars. So change the color to light pink or some other color, I don't know. Increase the transparency. Let's shift to yeah, this one's okay. Similarly, I'm gonna do this with this dashboard, changing it to pink. Okay, switching off title, making it white, making it Arial black, bold, making it purple. Okay, making it purple. Okay, keeping it bold. Going to title, making it purple, keeping it bold, aligning, Arial black, popularity score by genre. Score genre. Okay, genre. Okay, and yeah, and of course changing the effect. Uh, So which version was pink was it? It was visual border on, shadow on, making it white, making it okay. Okay, I think white's gonna work on visual border also. Okay, okay. Hmm. Should we increase the width? Let's try it. Okay, now similarly, shadow on, shadow color white, visual border on, visual border white, making it pink. Okay, and making it white, centric, bold, total streams by album. The color has to be okay. The font has to be Arial black. Okay, and of course, uh, value colors has to be changed to white. Font also has to change. Title off, and similarly in y-axis, title off. Value color has to be white. Font has to be Arial black. The color has to be light version, very light version of pink. I'll go with this. Uh, hmm. Switching on border, white. Hmm. So similarly, I'm gonna do this with this visualization also. So changing the line color in this line chart to this version. No, let's increase a bit of transparency. So yeah, this is good. So now let's do with the KPI cards. Going to effects. Okay, and switching on white, switching on total streams, switching it to Arial black, switching it to purple, making it bold, aligning it, toning down on number. Okay, font size. Okay, and call out value would look good if it's in white. Arial black. Hmm. Making it bold. Perfect. So yes, making it white, making it Arial black, bold. Okay, going to general, switching on title, uh, albums, total albums, making it Arial black, changing font size to this, aligning it, changing the background color to this, more than 50% of transparency, switching on visual border, making it white, as much rounded corners, switching on shadow, switching on white, and now uh, tone down the font size. Just a second. Yeah, yes, perfect. Okay, similarly with this. Now let's do one thing, count of track name. So I'll do one thing, I'll just copy this design and track name, count distinct. Okay, similarly average popularity score. First of all, let's change total albums to total tracks. Okay, uh, average popularity. Let's, yeah, okay, and so for this we need to have a popularity score as count and average of it. Uh, which is of course 67.30. Okay, so what else we could do over here? This looks kind of okay, I guess. It's a good start for a beginner, okay, if you're just starting out. So let's change the color of this dashboard a bit. Okay, okay, so now let's add a few more elements if there's space for it. This is the album card I have added. This looks kind of nice. Hmm. Or this image we can have over here. Mm-hmm. Not gonna work. So let's add something else. Let's add a Spotify logo whose dummy data we are representing over here. Okay, let's add some other image of a headphone maybe. got a pink tone. Okay. Hmm. This is perfect, I guess. Hmm. Okay. So this is a very beginner dashboard for Beyonce. So this data which I have visualized over here, it's more sort of a like dummy data. Okay, but it's something real data is also something along these lines. So you can create your own data sets. You can visualize your favorite artist accordingly. Okay, so this was our Beyonce dashboard in Power BI. Okay, everyone. So first thing first, we have to load our dataset into Power BI. So let's do that. So this is the dataset which we are going to visualize. So let's click on load. So our dataset, as you can see, got 26 rows. So it's been loading. Okay, so our dataset is loaded, as you can see over here on the right side, on the data column. Okay, so let's build our first visualization, which is going to be bar chart. Okay, clicking on horizontal bar chart. Okay, so we're gonna visualize top 10 episodes by IMDb rating. Okay, so in the x-axis, we are going to put IMDb rating as numeric. Okay, and in the y-axis, we are going to put episode title. Okay, which particular episode got which particular IMDb rating. Okay, so in the y-axis, we are going to put episode title. So yeah, so our visualization is being built. Yes, so as you can see, episode 8 got the maximum IMDb rating 27.70, and then got episode 4 of 27 rating, and so on. Okay, so let's change the title of it. Top 10 episodes by IMDb rating, keeping it bold, keeping it Arial black, and of course aligning it in the center. There's a typo. Okay, so we'll do other changes in this visualization later on. We'll make it more aesthetic as our dashboard gonna develop further. Okay, so let's do the second visualization, which is going to be viewership. Okay, so for that, we're gonna pick a column chart. Okay, I'm gonna pick a clustered column chart for that. So in the x-axis, I'm going to put season number, which particular season we have to visualize, right? Got how many viewership. So I'm gonna mention in x-axis season number, and in the y-axis I'm going to mention viewership. Okay, as in numeric, like how many viewership which particular season got. So we got viewership by millions. Okay, you can do sum of it, you can do average. I'm gonna do sum of it. Okay, in total numbers. So as you can see, season 1 got 338 million something, season 2 got 315, and the largest season 3 got 484 million viewership. Okay, so let's change the title so we don't get confused later on. So this dashboard is for the most part for beginners only. Okay, absolute beginners who are just starting out in their Power BI journey, so they can do such dashboard to develop their skills and get a basic idea what Power BI is all about, you know. So let's change the title, keeping it bold, viewership by season. Okay, keeping it bold, changing the font to Arial black. Okay, again I'm gonna redesign it later on as we gonna further develop our complete dashboard. So let's do our third visualization, which is going to be episode rating trend. Okay, so for this one, this is more sort of a chart type visualization which is going to be developed by us. For this one we're going to use line chart. Okay, so the expected result for this one is going to be a line which going to show how episode ratings change, you know, across the series, across 3 series. Okay, so let's click on line chart. Okay, let's switch off the filter tab. Okay, so yes, so in the line chart over here, as I told you, we're gonna show how episode ratings change across seasons. So in x-axis I'm going to put episode id, which particular episode, episode id, and in the y-axis we are going to put imdb rating. Okay, yeah, so you can see, okay, the pattern across. Episode 18 got 9.3, episode 19 got 8.70, again 22 episode got 9. So you can see this trend. So let's change the title. Episode, keeping it bold, rating trend. Okay, keeping it bold, changing the font to Arial black, aligning it in the center. Perfect. Yeah, so another visualization which we're gonna do, it's going to be rating distribution. Okay, rating distribution or episode type comparison. Let's do the comparison one. Okay, let's do episode comparison. Okay, episode type comparison particularly, by showing a column chart. Okay, so the expected result would be 4 bars showing average viewership per episode type. Okay, which particular episode type particularly getting viewership on an average. So for that I'm gonna use column chart. Again, a clustered column chart I'm using. Okay, and over here I'm gonna put episode type uh, in x-axis. Okay, again, episode type. Or you can say, we can do episode, we can do it by episode also. Okay, so we can, let's do by episode id or episode title. Let's do it title, so we get the name also. And then in the y-axis of course there's going to be viewership criteria, which would be in numeric. So you can see episode 1 got maximum viewership, you know and okay, so that's episode title. Okay, let's remove this first of all. Okay, so rather than episode title, we should add episode id. Okay, so which particular episode got maximum viewership? As you can see, episode 19 got the maximum viewership. 85 million people watched that particular episode. And by imdb rating, like critical rating, which is being done by users, cinema watchers, so they rated episode 8. So 8 episode got maximum critical rating, and 19th episode got most viewership. you know so let's do one thing. So I'm doing all these things real time, so if I make any mistakes, just comment down. Okay, so I'll try to make other tutorials better. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's add a few KPI cards. So yeah, let's add I'd say total episode count. Okay, that would be a much simpler thing to do. Let's add episode count. This is the KPI card. Narrowing it down a bit. uh, so in the fields we are going to add over here episode id. Okay, and I'm gonna do it count. So 26 episodes are there. Okay, as you can see. Let's add a title so we don't get confused later on. aligning it, changing the font to Arial black. Yeah. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's change the overall visual appeal of our dashboard. I've already got pre-selected PNGs and elements which I'm gonna integrate into this dashboard. So let's go to insert, click on image. So yeah, this one not gonna work, I guess. Yeah, going to canvas background, changing the color to black, decreasing the transparency. Okay, okay, and clicking on image. Okay, okay, perfect. Now adding some more elements to increase the aesthetic uh, rating of this dashboard. Okay, Netflix logo should be there in the center. Adding some more images, another Netflix logo. So you can create, these PNGs, different elements. I've already created that beforehand. So you can also create similar stuff. Okay. What else we can add? Okay. Hmm. So let's do one thing. Let's see if I can add a image in the background. Not for this one, for the canvas. Okay. Going to browse. I'm just testing it out, although I'm not gonna finalize it till I am impressed with the overall outlook. So overlapping, which is okay. Okay. Yeah, it looks kind of okay, I guess. We can go with this background image. Okay, so now let's change the overall visualization uh, of these cards. Okay, so these cards align with the background we are having. So yeah, let's do some changes in the canvas. Hmm. Okay, so I think we don't need this. Okay, perfect. So let's do one thing. Uh, hmm. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's change the cards first, and later on, I'm gonna make some changes in canvas if required. Okay, so going to visual. Okay, first of all, let's switch off the title. Perfect. And going to effects, uh, clicking on black, making it a bit transparent, like going to title, clicking on white so the title is visible, Perfect. So, and switching on visual border, switching on shadow, it has to be white, as much rounded corners as possible, going to shadow, going to white. Okay, and we also have to make changes in the font size. Let's just do top 10 episodes rather than IMDb. Let's remove the rating. Okay, it looks clean. And what else could be there? Let's click on values. Let's make it white. uh, let's make the x-axis values also white. It looks okay. So let's do one thing. Let's change the color of bars, make it red or close to it so it matches with Netflix color. Solid red. Okay, let's increase the transparency a bit. Okay, so let's see if this looks okay enough. So we're gonna copy into the other dashboards also. Okay, I think it looks kind of okay. Let's similarly, I'm gonna change the other cards also. Okay, so I myself changed all the cards, as you can see. Similarly, I've applied similar visualization features to all the visualizations. Okay, I've enhanced the user design of all the 4 visualizations. Okay, so I've aligned it according to the background image we got. Okay, so let's do one thing. So let's do similar stuff with the KPI cards also. Okay, clicking on black, increasing the transparency, and title color, let's keep it red. Episode count, and let's keep the value white. Yeah, so it aligns with the rest of the dashboard. Okay, so going to general, going to effects, increasing the transparency. Yes, visual border has to be there, as many rounded corners. Okay, white. Shadow has to be there, white. And decreasing the font size. Yeah, and going to values, decreasing the font size. Making it Arial black first. Okay, now decreasing it, keeping it bold. Perfect. So let's do one thing. Let's copy this exact KPI card. Over here also. Over here also. Let's have 3 or 4. Let's have 4 KPI cards. Similarly, okay. In the first KPI card, we showed episode count. In the next one, I think we should show average IMDb rating. Yeah, that would be better. So going to general, going to title, IMDb rating. So that's average. Yeah, and going to episode count again. So here I think we should show critic score. So average critic score is 87 of entire series. critic score. Okay. And in the last KPI card, I think we should show hmm, Rotten Tomatoes score, or what should we show? Uh, Viewership. I think let's show viewership. So that, no, we can't. Okay, let's do awards won. Okay, total awards won. So aggregation would be sum. Okay, let's change the title, awards won. Okay, so I think now our dashboard is complete. uh, I guess so. Let's keep it here. Let's keep it here. Let's see a bigger version of it. Okay, so hmm. So now our dashboard is complete. So this is the final outlook. So you can also make custom changes accordingly. Okay, as you like. Okay, uh, I'll share the dataset in the description below. Okay, so you can change things accordingly, add your own elements, own unique designs. Okay, and so this is a very beginner dashboard, absolute beginners. This dashboard is for the most part for absolute beginner people, okay, who are just starting out their Power BI journey. Okay, so these kind of dashboards will build your confidence over the period. Okay, and later on also in this tutorial series we are going to do more advanced tutorials, end-to-end projects also. Okay, later on. So yeah, so yes, this was all about this tutorial. See you in the next tutorial. Okay, thanks for watching. So first thing first, let's load the dataset into Power BI. So as you can see, this is the data which we are going to visualize. So let's click on load. So as you can see, our data set is loaded into Power BI. So let's visualize our first chart. So let's start with bar chart. So this through this chart we will visualize top tracks. Okay. So in x-axis it's going to be total streams, and in y-axis it's going to be track name. Okay. So yes, so we have total streams by track name over here. So let's do our second visualization, which is albums breakdown. For this we are going to use column chart. So in x-axis we are going to have album, and in y-axis we are going to have total streams. Perfect. And let's fastly do our third visualization, which is going to be popularity by Jono. So for this also we are going to use column chart. Okay, and so for this we are going to use genre in x-axis and popularity score in y-axis. So this will show us popularity by genre, and we can also do it by uh, album, uh, but for genre is better. Okay. And so yes. And then there's going to be our fourth visualization, which is going to be genre distribution. So for this we're going to use pie chart. And we're going to have genre in legend. Okay. And in values, we are going to have track name. Okay, perfect. And we are also going to visualize streams over the time using line chart. Perfect. And we are going to have a release date in x-axis and daily streams over y-axis. So let's do it by monthly or yearly. So let's do one thing. Uh, leave all the things as it is. Okay. Let the chart be more cluttered one. Okay. So now I'm gonna add a few KPIs. Track name, total track. 63 total tracks are there. Okay. Okay. And second KPI card is going to be uh, total streams on Spotify. 10 billion. And Spotify, no, popularity score. Let's calculate average. So that's 65.38. Okay. So let's do one thing. So let's do one thing. Instead of total streams, let's visualize daily streams through this KPI card. Okay. And total tracks 63, daily streams 190 million, and average popularity score 65. And let's also have uh, total albums count distinct. 8 albums are there. Okay. So now let me add some elements to see how I'm gonna change the user interface of this dashboard. So I've already got some elements over here. Uh, okay. Click on images. Okay. Let's click on images and okay. Let's add another element. Okay, let's remove this first. Change the background. Canvas background into, let's add an image in the background. Okay, I think it will kind of look cool. Okay, so so let's uh, change the user design of our let's change the design of our visualization cards. Okay, let's make it a bit gray. Yeah, I think it's kind of gonna look cool. Okay, okay. Hmm. Clicking on general, clicking on title. Total streams by album. Okay, going on Arial black, aligning it, making it white. Okay, going on visual, going on y-axis, removing title, going on x-axis, removing title. Okay, and in y-axis also. Okay, let's change the column color. uh hmm okay, kind of look okay, I guess. But again, I think one thing I left rounded corners has to be there for the shadow and border effect to look more cool. Okay, so similarly I'm going to do over here. Okay, let's change the title color, make it more lighter. Okay, going over here, clicking on effect, going over here, clicking on title, changing the color. Daily streams by daily streams timeline. Font to Arial black, aligning it. I hope it's already bold. No. Okay, going on effects, increasing the transparency. Okay, switching on shadow, switching on border. Okay, switching on shadow, going to visual, going to lines, going to color, making it more lighter, I guess. No, more darker. Yeah. Okay, and going to x-axis, title off, clicking on values, making it bold, making it Arial black, my favorite font. Okay, going to y-axis, clicking on values, clicking on Arial black. Okay, fantastic. So switching off title. Okay, similarly with this card. Okay, I forgot to do rounded corners over here. Okay, uh, yes, as much as possible. Perfect. Similarly with this one, going over here, going to title, total streams by track. Going to Arial Black, going to Effects, going to increasing transparency, switching off visual border, switching on shadow, clicking on shadow, rounded corners as much as possible, going to visual, going to y-axis, switching off title, going to Arial Black, switching off title, going to y-axis, switching off title, going to values, making it Arial Black, going to bars, changing the color to lighter version of gray or darker. uh, Darker would do. Let's increase the transparency a bit. Yeah, okay. Now similarly with this one, uh, let's first change the data labeling off. uh, this one, this one, this one, mm-hmm. Yeah, let's put this one but increase the transparency. Yeah, going to general, text color has to be this one, bold, Arial Black, aligned, going to background, making it this, increasing transparency. Fantastic, it kind of look cool. Going to visual border, making it increasing the rounded corners, increasing the shadow. Fantastic. Okay. uh, and I think text color has to change a bit. Yes, this one looks cool, and it also gives a kind of eye effect. Okay, so should I? Okay, I should. uh, hmm. Okay, now this one, going to be Arial Black, bold, title off, Arial Black, bold, lighter, okay, and making it lighter. Now going to general, popularity by genre. Okay, shifting it to Arial Black. uh, Background has to be, again, let's increase the transparency, giving it a glass effect. Okay, switching on visual border, as much rounded corners as possible. This time again, shadow has to be there. Okay. Now with the KPIs, let's style one KPI and then we'll just copy it with the rest. Increasing it, title has to be there. Tracks. Let's keep it simple. I won't write total track, I'll just write tracks. Let's keep things minimalistic over there this time. Okay. And call out value docker. Okay. So I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna I forgot to do the rounded corners. uh, Visual border on, shadow on. Okay, rounded corners. Okay, shadow on. Okay, and of course call out value has to be a bit decreased. Hmm. Okay, let's category label off. Yes, now it's okay, I guess. So let's just copy it and total or daily streams. Okay, so let's, okay, and then count of album, remove it. Let's copy it, album, count it, 9. Going over here, albums. Okay, keeping it bold, streams per day. uh, so these are daily streams, okay, not cumulative streams, daily streams. And this is going to be popularity score. So let's just copy it and let's just paste it. Popularity. So let's a bit okay, and okay, over here I have to add popularity score. Perfect. And sorry, I have to take average of it. Okay, so now our dashboard is complete, as you can see. Should I align things a bit here and there? No. Okay, so now as you can see, our dashboard is complete. It looks kind of sleeky in design, so you can do that with your favorite musician. Okay, so see you in the next tutorial. Thank you. Thanks for watching. So first thing first, we need data set into our Power BI. So I've already uploaded the data set, as you can see on right hand corner. Ikka wrappers data set is over here. So similarly, first of all, tell you that this is a very beginner friendly dashboard. So you can create dummy data set of your favorite musician and visualize on Power BI. Okay. So the data set is not exactly as per the current statistics of this musician, but this is more sort of a reference. Okay, so this is more sort of a like a beginner dashboard, beginner tutorial, I'm providing you to start your Power BI journey. Okay, so first thing first, let's visualize this musician's top tracks. Okay, so for that I'm going to use bar chart. So I'm going to put total streams into x-axis, and I'm going to put track name to y-axis. Okay, so yeah, so I can see that now Dilbar from Satyamev Jayate has got the most Spotify streams, then Badri Ki Dulhaniya, then other tracks are there. Okay, and then I'm gonna click on general, I'm gonna click on title, I'm gonna click on top tracks. Perfect. I'm gonna change the font to Arial Black. Let's align it. Okay, I'll do the later changes. The aesthetics and other elements, the background color and everything will be changed later on after I'll add elements into this dashboard. So second chart is going to be column chart cluster one. So this chart will be used to do breakdown of albums of this musician. Okay, so I'm gonna have album to x-axis. Okay, and I'm gonna have uh, total streams on Spotify to y-axis. So yes, so you can see, of course, as I told you, Dilbar got the most streams, and then you can see the Fubu, his most recent release, is also picking up, right? So yeah, so I'll uh, rewrite the title: albums breakdown. Okay, so changing the font to Arial Black, making it bold, making it aligned. Perfect. Now I'm going to add a third chart, which is going to be popularity by genre. Okay, so for that also I'm going to use column chart, but stacked column chart, not clustered one. Okay, so yeah, perfect. So yeah, so in x-axis we are going to have genre, and in y-axis we are going to be having popularity score. Okay, so that's how we're going to visualize popularity by genre. So popularity score is also there. We can see the popularity by genre. So rap got 100% rating, and the sum of popularity we have to calculate average. Yeah, so average, yes. So pop rap, which is sub genre of rap, got 59.92 popularity score, and average popularity score of rap is around 60%, and Indian hip hop is around 60.61, and then uh, hip hop in general is 61.88. Okay, so and let's change the title to popularity by genre. Okay, so changing the font to black, keeping it bold, keeping it aligned. I'll change the other visualizing elements later on. So next add another chart which is going to be pie chart for genre distribution. Okay, so I think hip hop tracks are the most tracks in terms of numbers, but let's see. In genre, then I'm gonna have track name. Okay, so yeah, so rap is like 31%, then you got 26% hip hop, pop rap, which is subgenre of rap, then Indian hip hop, which is more sort of like underground stuff, I guess. Okay, so and these genres also include Bollywood music, uh, songs in Bollywood, which this artist has given. So I would say rewrite it to genre distribution, changing the font to Arial black, keeping it bold, keeping it aligned. Okay, and then finally I would be having line chart to check the trends in streams, okay, over the period. So yeah, uh, okay, so in x-axis we are going to have release date when the song is released, and in y-axis we are going to have daily streams, uh, and I'll put it to average. Let's keep it year or month. Let's keep it month. Okay, and going to general, changing the title to stream trend. Okay, perfect. So I think for the most part our core visualization is done. Now add KPI cards. Clicking on card. Now I think I should have number of tracks over here for our first KPI card. It's 99 tracks we have taken into account into our data set. Okay, 99 tracks of Ikka. Clicking on tracks, changing the font to Arial black, keeping it bold. Okay, going to visual, removing tracks, category value, changing font to Arial black, keeping it bold. Perfect. Yeah, I'll do the later. I'll do the changes, other changes later on. So let's adjust. Let's put it over here. Let's put the genre distribution. Let's put it over here. Let's put it over here. Okay, let's put it over here. Perfect. Okay, and let's perfect. Let's decrease the font size. Okay, of this KPI. Okay, so now let's add other visual elements which gonna enhance our Power BI dashboard. Clicking on image. I've already selected a few PNGs. Okay, so you can select accordingly. Ikka as the name represents. I'm gonna have cards. Okay, and also I'm gonna have uh, okay, this one looks cool. Okay, I'm gonna have another Ikka image. Okay, perfect. And this one, sizing it down. Another one could be adjusted, I guess. Hmm. I think this one looks okay. Okay, and let's uh, remove it and add it again. Not this one. So I'm doing all these things real time. So bear with me if I make any mistake. So this is a very beginner dashboard, okay? So you can practice, create a dummy data set and practice, create a dummy data set for your favorite musician, okay? Let's add it again. Okay. Uh, let's add some other elements also. His album covers. Okay, I'll add these things later on. Okay, let's change the background color of canvas. Okay, and yeah, so going to general, increase the transparency. Switching on visual border, it has to be white. Increasing the rounded corners, it has to be white too. Title, it has to be white too. Okay, or grayish. Going to visuals, going to x-axis, switching off title. Okay, going to y-axis, switching off title. Okay, now change the column color, making it very glass like, you know. Okay, I guess. Similarly with other cards, going to general, going to effects, going to color. uh, Visual border on, shadow on, making it white, increasing the rounded corners, 1 2x 3x 4x, making a shadow, making it white, uh, making it grayish, grayish. Okay, and clicking on visual, clicking on x-axis, switching off title, clicking on values, clicking on, okay, Arial black. Hmm. Clicking on y-axis. Arial black. Bold. Hmm. Okay, and I think I should uh, have it Arial black. Okay, over here, title has to be removed, and the color has to be lighter version. Okay, so similarly with this dashboard, going to general, going to effect, switching on shadow. Okay, rounded corners 30x, shadow width 5x. Okay, and I'm gonna change it to white. No, light version. Okay, okay, and of course colors has to be changed, legends has to be changed, text light version of gray. Okay, switch off title, I don't need that. Go to slices, make it like grayish. Okay, and going to wrap, darker version of gray. Going to hip hop, more darker version of gray. Let's have it a lighter one. Okay, or have it a darker one but increase the transparency. Or no. And perfect. In Indian hip hop you can have white is okay. uh, yeah, so now another dashboard, going to general, making it bold, making it Arial black, aligning it, changing the background, transparency has to be increased, visual border on, making it white, shadow has to be increased, width has to be increased. Okay, and what else? uh, yeah, so visual, uh, making it Arial black, removing title, making it lighter version of gray. uh, okay, and making it Arial black, making it lighter version of gray, switching off title. Okay, okay, so so we can see the changes. Okay, now coming to this dashboard, albums breakdown. Now revamp this one. uh, Going to effects, going to color, changing the background a bit, visual border on, shadow on, making it white, lot of rounded corners, width has to be increased, shadow has to be increased. Okay, title has to be of light gray color to match it, and font has to be uh, okay. And what else? Rounded corners are there. Okay, so clicking on visual, clicking on columns, clicking on lighter version of, yeah, clicking on y-axis, clicking on values, clicking on lighter version of this one. Okay, and switching off title, of course you need that. We have to keep things minimalistic. uh, Clicking on lighter version of it, and of course has to be Arial black. Hmm. Okay, what else? Yeah, so line color has to be changed. Going to visual, going to lines, going to color, going to lighter version of, or a bit darker one. No, has to be lighter version. Okay, and similarly with this one over here, top tracks, you can go to layout, you can click on lighter version of. Okay, and so yes, let's design the KPI card. Here also we can change. Okay, now let's change the KPI card. Clicking on okay, let's first change the background. Going to fits, going to gray. Okay, clicking on visual border, clicking on shadow, clicking on white, making it 30x, clicking on shadow, clicking on white, 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x. Okay, and okay, let's, okay, okay, and let's add Let's realign the KPI card so it doesn't overlap with other elements, but at the same time should maintain a bit distance. Okay, so similarly I've added three more KPI cards. Streams 687 million streams, albums 11, score in terms of popularity it's 60.59%. So this is the final dashboard which we have. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for new tutorials.